Hey everybody, new to you, Nick here. Oh, there goes my sweet taters. Hey everybody, new to you, Nick here, and it is March 2019, and we are in the kitchen. We are gonna be cutting some chicken. We're gonna cut some chicken. Everybody knew when your black self walked up in this kitchen, you're gonna cook some chicken. And it's one of my favorites because it kind of makes cutting chicken a whole lot easier. I know a lot of people that say they don't like to cut chicken, their hands get all dirty and all that other stuff, and there's one thing that I like to do. It really helps it out when I'm prepping my food, whether I'm making chicken breasts, chicken strips, grilled chicken. I can do it all. Oh, even if I just want to bake it or whatever I want to do. Cut the chicken! What you want to do is stick that chicken in the freezer and let it get frozen hard, solid, whatever. Give yourself 2.5 to 3 hours, depends on how cold your freezer gets. Okay, and by then the chicken is going to be a little bit more rigid. You know, you almost have to peel it apart. But what that's going to do is make it a whole lot easier to do several things. One is cut the fat off, and two, get your portion sizes the way you like them. Now, I usually do it just by eyeball because I've already measured it and done a whole lot of prepping and all that good stuff. But your first few, you might want to measure it out, and then from there, you can kind of eyeball it. Also, it's a lot easier to cut chicken breasts or smaller, thin-cut chicken breasts like 6 ounces of chicken breast that you usually see in the meals that you got to get, or some people have 8, or you know, stack them up or like that or whatever. But cooking them, if you're going to get a big old thick hunk of chicken, it's going to take a while. So portioning them out that way, I don't necessarily have to cook them today, but then I can leave them in the fridge, or they're already still a little frozen, so I can stick them back in the freezer and then cook them at my leisure or whenever I want. Okay, but it happens a little bit faster, so then cooking is not a big chore. We're going to cut some chicken. We're gonna cut some chicken. We're gonna cut some chicken. We're gonna. Okay. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You're gonna have to grab your chicken off of there. I just sat it in water right out of the freezer. Cold water, obviously. It's chicken. Okay. I don't know if anybody knows that. Cold water, please. Stick your chicken in the cold water. It's gonna take about 2.5 to 3 hours. And it's gonna get pretty hard. Okay. Damn, chicken, you got some big old chicken breasts. So this is actually 2 of them, but I don't know if you can tell, but if I give it a little tug there, and now they're broken apart. One of the things that I did mention a little earlier, you cut that fat right off, makes it a little bit easier, and then if you have a dog, you can give that to them. And another thing I like to do is throw that in a little bowl, boil that with a little bit of water, and then now I've got my own salt-free chicken broth that I can throw in into my Instapot or my crock pot or something like that without getting the super salted stuff that you're going to find at the grocery store. Here you go, Harley. He likes his chicken. Next step, you're going to want to get a super duper sharp knife. Oh! Anybody ever watch Big Trouble Little China? Oh! And you want to make sure that bad boy is real sharp. We want to wipe that down. Holla at Jazzy B's, he'll let you know whatever I was just doing right there. That was the wrong way to do it, but just doing it for the video. Chicken toe! Anywho, what you're going to want to do is, since it's hard, I don't have to worry about it slipping out of my hands and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's good to go. So from there, I can just set this down. And then if I've got that super sharp blade there, I can just easily just slice right through that. Boom. All that fat just cut right off of there. Very simple. Hands aren't all stuck with stuff and whatnot. I mean, I wouldn't touch my cell phone, but you know what I'm saying? You don't have that slimy stuff all over the place. Okay? Very easy, slim trim cut. Okay? Next up after that, okay, I've got... Actually, what I'm going to be doing this week is going to be doing some Instapot chicken. So those aren't, I mean, you want to keep them uniform, but it doesn't really matter what size that you cut those into. So I'm going to take that little corner piece right here, and I'm going to chop that off. Bam! Cut that up into some uniform pieces, and see, it's a little harder. So I can just slice right through it. So it doesn't have to be that small to go into the Instapot, and that's going to cook that instantly. Not really instantly, but you know, Instapot. Anyway, and then from there, I've got this very large piece that I can do what I want with. Now what I will be doing here is I'm going to just set it up because it's rigid and hard. I'm going to set it up right on its end here, like so, and then I can just cut thin slices of chicken. And those are going to be my chicken breasts if I want to stick them on the grill. Sun's coming out. I've got chicken breasts that I can throw on there, okay? If I also want to do like a chicken and peppers or something like that, it's much easier to manipulate the chicken that way, but it's much easier to cook and quicker to cook a piece of chicken making a mess and making my dog very happy. Get it? There you go. Very quick to cook something like this than it would be to try to cook something like this. Okay? So that makes it a whole lot easier. From there, I'm going to take these. I can season them, throw them wherever I like. I can season them, and I can throw them on the grill. I can throw them in the oven. I can throw them on the skillet, cook them however I like. But it's much, much, much easier. So I'll throw that over into there, one bowl. I'll toss that with some seasonings later. Now, last but not least, and one of my favorites, I like to do chicken burgers. So one other thing that I can do, or that I like to do with my chicken, is that ununiform, or that piece that's not very uniform right there on the edge that we first put into the Instapot right here. I'm going to take that and cut that up into smaller pieces that can be handled by my food processor. So what I'll do is I'll take that little piece here, and then I can just stick those raw right into the food processor, grind that up and make me some ground chicken, and from there I can do chicken burgers. I can mix it with some veggies and make a chicken stir fry. I can throw it in my rice. I can do anything I want with that, because from there it's chicken, just ground up chicken. I can do whatever I want with it. And the last thing that I can do with this very easily prepped chicken, I can take those Instapot pieces. Once they're done out of the Instapot, obviously with a clean food processor, I'll throw those in there. Instantly I got shredded chicken. Now I can make, my own salt-free nachos or low sodium nachos, or I can make a dip. I can do salads. I can do all kind of stuff with my own shredded chicken. And that was all 10, 12 bucks at the store. So those are some tips and some tricks for you that you can use in the kitchen to make your cooking a little bit easier. If you take anything away from this video, it's how to make getting that you want in the kitchen done easier. Please take that away. If you got one thing, awesome. If you didn't get anything, give it to somebody else and see if they can get something. But all I need from you is a like, bam, right there at the bottom. And if you haven't seen any of the other videos, check them out. But you can check out the rest of them and know when the next ones are coming up if you subscribe. And that's going to be right down there. I'm using a chicken finger. Bam. So I'm going to need you to like, subscribe, share with a friend. And like always, don't forget to wear your gear and have a blessed day.